We have 2 children with the exact same diagnosis, autism, and combined with an intellectual disability, both at the moderate level.
We have 2 little boys, Bailey, who is 3, and Jessie, who is 2. Bailey has a moderate to severe disorder with a language delay, and Jessie has a mild to moderate ASD diagnosis with a severe communication disorder.
Alex, who's 11, he was diagnosed with pervasive developmental disorder, PDD they call it, but it basically is just a milder form of autism. We got little Jack, he has severe autism, intellectually disabled as well.
I made the appointment to see a paediatrician who at the time didn't necessarily think he had autism, but diagnosed him borderline mild because there was no communication there.
Jack was actually pronounced profound in some of his areas, and I said to the guy, hey, I didn't even realise there was anything worse than severe.
I had a really good rapport with my early childhood health nurse, my local one, so she was fantastic. I felt she was very easy to talk to. So with my regular checks with Kingsley, I just raised the topic with her. And she didn't feel that there was any need to be concerned because children all develop at different speeds. But what she did do was put me on to sort of an eye clinic just to check that his vision was okay and that his hearing. But eventually we found out his hearing was okay and his eyes were fine. So then I went back to the early childhood health nurse. And then she said, well, I think the next step is that we get you to a developmental clinic. And I said, okay, fine. And, you know, I had no clue what a developmental clinic was. That was when we first heard the A word. And basically that's the term she used. She said, well, I think it's the A word. And I looked at her blankly and I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. What A word? And then she said, autism.
By the age of 6 months, I knew 100% in my mind that there was something going on with this little baby boy and that I needed to find out what it was. I kept going to doctors. I must have gone to 7 or 8 different doctors. I'd gone to a paediatrician. I had gone to 2 different lots of community health centres. I found that a lot of the times that I felt like either people didn't have any answers for me or it was put back onto me.
It wasn't till he was probably 2.5 that I brought it up to the early childhood clinical nurse, and she had basically told me that you're fine, there's nothing wrong with him, he's not rocking in a corner, he just doesn't talk because he's had gluia and he's got his brothers talk for him and all that sort of thing. But we still went on our own gut instinct and still had made the appointment to see a paediatrician who at the time didn't necessarily think he had autism, but could see that we needed the help.
I found that when I actually went to see a professional, they would always sort of want me to go back to the beginning and get sort of elimination tests done, like vision and hearing. And it would waste up a lot of time at these appointments with me trying to explain, well, I'd already done that and I did this and that. So what I did was I actually drew a journey, and I did it on a 1-page sheet with the date of the appointment and the service provider I'd visited and what the outcome was. So when I came to them, I'm looking for something new that I haven't already encountered.
We went and saw this GP. I explained to him the fact that I'd seen several other GPs and this was the thing that we'd been looking at for the last 12 months of things with Bailey. He knew of this paediatrician and said to me, yep, he's a great paediatrician, go and see him. We were there for about 20 minutes and he said to me, what do you think's wrong with him? And I looked at him and I was like, wow, someone's actually asking what I think. We'd sort of not got to that point before. And I said to him, I think he has autism. And he goes, I completely agree with you. Let's get him assessed. After all that time, all that year of struggle, and to have someone within 20 minutes go, yep, let's move to the next phase.